Nowadays, several expeditions are carried out to Mount Arab, both to find Mount Arab and as a sport. We hope that you have a chance to visit this mountain, which is a special place in cultural heritage of mankind. Turkey's cultural treasures.
I am a theater owner, actor, director, and producer. I am considered the founder of the modern Turkish theater. I make significant contributions not only to theater but also to Turkish cinema. Do you want to know who I am? Let's get acquainted. I was born on 28th of February 1892 in Istanbul. I developed an interest in theater while I was at school. I dreamed of becoming an actor one day. I made my first stage appearance at Burhanettin Theatre in 1909 with the role of Bob in Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. I went to Paris in 1911 to study stage arts. I watched many plays by French National Theatre and various Russian theatre groups. My firm intention to learn also continued with my future researches in Moscow, Berlin, and Spain. When I returned to Istanbul, I began to work both as a director and actor. I put on the stage for the first time in Turkey Shakespeare's Hamlet play. Hamlet was me, young Muhsin Ertuğrul. I founded many theatre groups during my life. In 1914, I joined efforts to establish Darül Bedaiye Ottoman School of Music and Theatre, which would later be called Istanbul State Theatre. I also took the exam to become a student at this school, but after a while I was assigned as assistant teacher at the school. I became an actor with tenure in 1915 and began to appear in several plays. When the First World War broke out, the school was transformed into a theatre community. At that point in time, I took a leave from work and went to Berlin. I continued my studies on cinema and theatre in Berlin. This was the first time I visited Berlin, but in my second visit, I founded a film company called Istanbul Film. I returned to Istanbul in 1918. Although I resumed my duties in Darül Bedaiye, I had to leave after some disagreements and problems over play selections. This wouldn't be my first departure from Darül Bedaiye Ottoman School of Music and Theatre, which would later be called Istanbul State Theatre. I took a deeper interest in cinema, and it was that time that I founded Kemal Film Company, which is a milestone in the history of Turkish cinema. Kemal Film Company was Turkey's first private film production company. We shot 6 films between the years 1921 and 1924. The first film we produced was called A Love Tragedy in Istanbul. It was followed by Road to Victory, which was the first documentary film telling the war of independence. The first film about the war of independence is The Shadow of Flame. You possibly don't know this, but I'm the first person to have arranged discounted and half-price theatre tickets for students in Turkey and distributed free pamphlets on theatres. I provided lower prices for students so that they come to see the plays as set up theatre and not as art. I also put in place a work order at the theatre which gave precedence to local playwrights, teamwork and division of labor. worked as an arts director in 1927 at Darul Bedai. I continued to work there until 1949 when I was reassigned to the General Directorate of State Theatres. I exerted efforts to ensure that the institution created an identity of that of the city theatre. Meanwhile, I pioneered efforts for the establishment of İpek Film, Turkey's second biggest film company. Ankara Train film we shot was a huge success. The company had given me carte blanche on spending our resources on modern technology. I directed 20 films. Turkey's first talking films were On the Streets of Istanbul and A Nation is Awaiting, which I shot in 1931 with the collaboration of Egyptian and Greek companies. I also led efforts for the foundation of the theatre vocational school within the Istanbul municipality. I launched the first regular children's plays at Istanbul State Theatre during the season of 1935 and 1936. I was one of the teachers of Ankara State Conservatoire when it was founded. I was put in charge of the practice stage of Ankara State Conservatoire to run the State Theatre that was about to be established in 1947. Later on, I was to become the president of the General Directorate of State Theatres. I began to draw away from cinema and focus on theatre. I also continued my duties as chief director and commissioned the opening of the first theatres in our major cities. My last role as an actor was the role of an inspector at An Inspector Calls play. My last work in cinema was also the first colored Turkish film, The Carpet Maker Girl. On 24th October 1971, the year when I celebrated my 60th year in stage arts, Culture and Tourism Minister Talat Haran presented me with State Culture Award given for the first time to an actor in our history.